So ESPN's Bill Connelly dropped his returning production for college football for the 2020, coming up in 2025 season. Well, more so the winter time. He'll have one post spring portal as well. And the initial results might not be super favorable for the Buffs. So it's a lot of things to break down. We'll pop up this graphic. We're going to talk through what the Buffs are going to have to do in this conference because, man, it's going to be a tough one. Let's dive into that here on the Prime Time for College Football. This video is powered by our partners at BetUS. Check them out. They're hooking up the gamer. 150% bonus on your first deposit, $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150. So, Colorado is not sitting in the most optimal spot right now when it comes to the returning production. Let's pop this bad boy up and let's talk through what I'm seeing in comparison for 2025 to spring of 2024 going into last season. Let's take a gander here. So this is the graphic. As you can see, Colorado is sitting right now at right about 89th in the country. And that puts them at about 13th in the Big 12 when it comes to their overall winter ranking on returning production. So Bill Connelly has his own system over there at ESPN. He takes percentages on like returning production from quarterback, running back, wide receiver, snaps, all of that stuff. He puts all of that together and gets you a nice number. Now, one of the things he always points out in his formulas is that the returning production piece here isn't a great indicator of who's going to be overrated, but it is a really good indicator of who will be underrated because of the way that, you know, you got to wait and see how the returning production actually produces on the field. Well, when you take a look at this, yeah, man, right now the Buffs, like I said, they're 89th in the country, 13th in the Big 12. Spring-wise, though, last year they were bringing back 18th. They were 18th in the country, bringing back 71% of their returning production from the year before. And so 48th on offense, in which offense wasn't that big of a concern because you brought back your quarterback, and that was most important. Defense-wise, though, was key for Rob Livingston to be able to produce something nice on defense. You needed to have a good defense, and they brought back 18th in the country, 75%. So the team had the bodies for it. It was just all about execution, and boom, you start to see it. Well, next season is not going to be as pretty. Right now, next season, you're looking at 55% on defense and 44% on offense, which is 99th and 66th respectively in college football, with an 89 ranking at 50% production coming back. And this does include transfers from the winter portal. So players going in, players coming out, players graduating, going to the draft, all of that. But let's break down why that is not a sign that things are just going to be awful for the Buffs. Let's look at that. But first, shout out to the partners over there at BetUS. They're going to hook you up. 150% bonus on your first deposit of $2,000. 125% bonus on your second and thirds of $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150. And right now we are in the world of NBA action, right? You know, this NBA season's going on, and BetUS can hook you up there. If you want to get into action there, you can get into some of the game stuff, first half, second half. They also got live betting. And if you're really feeling froggy, the casino is wide open. They've got all kinds of table games, blackjack, video poker, slots, all the stuff that you may like that can get you in the game if you enjoy your time there. So check them out. Go to BetUS. They'll hook you up. 150% bonus on the first deposit of $2,000. 125% bonus on the second and thirds by using promo code YouTube150. BetUS, where the game begins. So let's look at why this isn't as detrimental as it does look for the Buffs. So Colorado coming in at that number. Let's look at some teams from last year that also were, you know, not too far off in that range. For example, Arizona State last year, 49th overall, 51st on offense, 48th defense. Their schedule's pretty favorable. But for the Buffs, Arizona State's bringing back a lot of talent. Second in the country in overall, fourth on offense, second on defense. Colorado has to see them. Also, Colorado's got to see another top team, Iowa State, who brought back the number one overall production class in college football last year. Third in offense, seventh in defense, and they finished the season with 10 wins. Next year, they're above the median, at 55. Buffs will see them as well. BYU, which actually brings back more production than they had than last year, start the year off on a tear, going 10-0, 9-0. They had a good start to the season, and so you ask the question, all right, only bringing back in the 60s in production. They're doing it again next year. They should be a challenge, except for defense had a lot of stuff to replace. But that doesn't mean that where the Buffs are right now, that it's all over. What it means is that the question's going to be on the coaching staff, how they are able to bounce back with these new players, get them up to speed quickly, and get out there and produce. I keep talking up Caden Salter, but I also think Juju Lewis is going to push him. I think that the skills positions are fine. O-line with Jordan Sexton leading the way. I think the offensive line should be fine. Cash Cleveland's still out there. Still got a solid offensive line. Brought in some solid transfers. The defense could improve. Now you're losing out on Travis Hunter, on both sides of the ball, who was exceptional, as a playmaker. The question is, will other guys be able to step up? And I think so. We'll look at some of the players that could step up and make that happen, and look at some of the winter workout reports. But the biggest thing here, when you look at the raw numbers, which is, the thing that I like to do, Colorado's schedule is going to be pretty tough. It's going to be considered one of the tougher schedules in the Big 12 because, again, they're seeing the three teams with 10 wins with Arizona State, BYU, and Iowa, Kansas State, Iowa State. They're seeing the 10-win teams. As long as Colorado plays its game and establishes the run well, which I think Marshall Faulk will be able to help rebuild that portion of the team, they should be able to be competitive throughout the year. And I think the spring portal is also going to be pretty busy for the Buffs as they try to establish and decide who else should be coming. But let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. I'm curious. Do y'all feel like the Buffs at this rating, at this number, being at the 50% range, 44 on offense, 55 on defense, is that concerning? Or do you think these transfers and freshmen can step up and really contribute to the production? Love to hear your thoughts. Also, thinking about it this way, with losing Shedeur, losing Travis, right, Jimmy Horn, you're losing a substantial amount of production, right? That's like the big heavy hitters, especially on the opposite side of the ball, which is why you only bring back 44%. LaJohntay Wester, who brought in a ton of production with him when he transferred in. You got to keep that in mind that a lot of your big name players may be gone, with your top three receivers. But I think that the young boys, Marion Miller, etc., will be able to jump in and make something happen. I'm not stressed about that. I'm just curious to know how y'all feel on it. Shout out to our partners over there at BetUS. They're going to hook you up. 150% bonus on the first deposit of $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150. We'll talk more about the NFL Combine. Travis Hunter was talking about himself, and there's been a lot of praise about him. I saw Mina Kimes was talking about him not too long ago, and I definitely want to dive into her thoughts. And, we will chop it up with y'all soon.